Esteemed guests, please welcome Ruth Dickey, Executive Director of the National Book Foundation, and David Steinberger, Chairman of the Board of the National Book Foundation.
Thank you so much, Padma, and hello, everyone. I'm Ruth Dickey, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Executive Director of the National Book Foundation. Thank you.
And I'm David Steinberger, the Chair of the Board of Directors. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 73rd National Book Awards. The awards are always an incredibly exciting night for those of us who love books, but tonight is made extra special by the fact that we are finally back together in person for the first time since 2019.
What a tremendous joy it is to be able to gather together here in New York City, which has been the home of the National Book Awards since their start in 1950. While we have missed gathering in person, something so special about the past 2 years has been celebrating virtually with readers from all around the country and the world.
Tonight's awards are once again being broadcast live for audiences everywhere. So I'd like to extend a special welcome to viewers at home. We are so grateful to you all for being here with us for one of the most exciting nights in literature.
Yeah, we're here tonight not only to celebrate 25 extraordinary books and their writers and translators and 2 exceptional Lifetime Achievement honorees, but also to celebrate that in order for books to find their way into the world, it takes a vast community of people who love and believe in them. We celebrate all of you, from writers and publishers, to agents, to editors, to publicists, to distributors, to booksellers, to book critics, to librarians, to teachers, to readers. Each of you is a critical part of this work. The National Book Foundation champions books because books need champions, especially these days when books are being challenged in unprecedented ways. Books need all of us. Everyone in this room, everyone outside, everyone watching at home, to build a literary ecosystem in which everyone can see themselves represented and everyone can thrive. Tonight is, as it should be, a celebration, but it's also a reminder of the work ahead for us all.
We have a lot of work to do at the National Book Foundation, too. We've doubled down on supporting literary arts organizations across the country through the Literary Arts Emergency Fund, and thank you to the fund, and we've engaged with readers of all ages throughout the nation, 46 states, and counting.
In just a few minutes, we'll be learning the winners of this year's National Book Awards. I know none of us can wait, but first, we'd like to share a little more about the work that we do the other 364 days of the year. It's been such a privilege this past year and a half to meet so many colleagues and hear about what the National Book Foundation means to them, and we've tried to capture a taste of that to share with all of you tonight. We'll be back with you after a brief video. Across all our programs, the National Book Foundation reaches almost 2 million readers a year.
I like the way the National Book Foundation makes it its business to care about books across the country. There really isn't a rival to it, so you're supporting something that is doing work that nobody else is.
The National Book Foundation works in 4 key areas: awards and honors, which of course is the National Book Awards, but also awards like 5 Under 35 and our Science and Literature Prize. Service to the literary field through the Literary Arts Emergency Fund. Public programming, which brings National Book Award honored authors to all corners of the country. And education and access, which works to connect young people and families with access to books. One of the most exciting ways we do this is through our Book-Rich Environments program.
We have all types of ethnicities, cultures in our public housing, and Section 8 in our tax credit communities, and this is so inclusive. We've heard it. We've heard them say that. Mommy, that looks like me. And that's a big deal.
To make sure the whole country is a book-rich environment is the ultimate goal.
In terms of service to the literary field, we want to continue to support amazing literary organizations all over the country. And then we want to figure out by our 75th anniversary how we preserve our archive and make it accessible to the community. The National Book Awards are the biggest driver and biggest revenue source that make possible the work that we do as the National Book Foundation throughout the whole year.
There's been a real momentum over the last 6 or so years to make sure that the foundation concerns itself with books every day, everywhere, not just confine itself to the night of the award ceremony.
It was such an incredible honor for me to have my book, The Kissing Bug, as one of the awardees of the Science and Literature Program prize this year, because I never actually saw myself as a science writer. The book is so much both about science and about communities and families. I think it opened a door of connection between them.
Work that helps more people get a chance to feel like books are a place of belonging for them, for me, feels like the most important work that any of us can do.
You know, this is what books do, right? They open up these conversations and these points of connections and intimacy.
There's something about fiction that demands you be an empathetic person. Given the state of the world right now, where we feel so disconnected and we're at each other's throats and there's so much bitterness, fiction might be one of our only cures.
Touring with the National Book Foundation, we met people who their book was powerful to them. Like, they read Hell of a Book and they read The Prophets and they loved them. They wanted to talk about them.
What was most profound about traveling with Jason, especially when we went to the Mississippi Delta, we could see on the faces of our audiences how our books impacted them.
We like to say that the National Book Award honored books and authors are now all part of Team Book. It's like they are part of our family.
And I think looking forwards in the next 6 years, it's only going to occupy its title even more strongly, the National Book Foundation.
I think books are the most important thing that there is in this world.
It is so important to see yourself. It means education. It means power. It means understanding your culture.
They change our lives. Books just completely change our lives.
The National Book Foundation accomplishes an extraordinary amount of important work, which makes it easy for me to do this next part. We need your help. As I remind people every year when I'm on this stage, tonight's awards are the single largest source of income for the National Book Foundation. I'm happy to share that so far we have raised together $920,000 towards tonight's goal of $950,000. Now, which is amazing. Thank you. On your table, you'll find a QR code you can easily scan to make a donation online. And if you prefer paper, we've got you covered. Your program contains a donation envelope where you can make a donation or a pledge.
Thanks so much for considering joining us in support of books. We have staff and volunteers circulating the room for those in person to collect those envelopes, and there will also be collection boxes stationed at the exits tonight with volunteers and staff ready to help.
And for those of you watching at home, keep an eye out in the chat for a donation link. or visit nationalbook.org/donate. Tonight's broadcast is free of charge, but we're hoping that book lovers like you will support us with a suggested donation of $50.
And while you're getting your donations ready, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank some of the many people whose support and hard work helps us do the work of ensuring that books and literature are for everyone. Thank you to the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, the Art for Justice Fund, a sponsored project of Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors in partnership with the Ford Foundation, the Mellon Foundation, the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, and the New York State Council on the Arts.
We are also enormously grateful for tonight's sponsors: Penguin Random House, Barnes & Noble, Lindenmeyer Book Publishing Papers, a division of Central National Gotsman, Amazon, Literary Partnership, Amazon Studios, Apple Books, Books A Million, Google Play Books, Hachette Book Group, HarperCollins Publishers, Ingram Content Group, Macmillan Publishers, Meta, Poetry Foundation, Scholastic, and Zibby Books. Thank you for making our work possible.
We are so grateful. We are just 2 years away from a big milestone, the 75th anniversary of the National Book Awards. In preparation, we've spent the last year crafting a strategic plan that will culminate in our landmark anniversary, and we are absolutely thrilled to have generous supporters who believe in us and our big dreams for the future.
That's right. We are so grateful to these supporters who have joined us in making significant gifts and multi-year commitments to help us get to 75. Huge thanks to Deborah E. Wiley, the Susan S. and Kenneth L. Wallach Foundation, Karen and Marcus Dole, the Stephen M. and Joyce E. Tadler Charitable Trust, Stephen Reedy, Marianne and Bruno Quinzen, and Paul and Carol Steinman. Thank you.
I'd like to thank some of the folks who have helped make tonight and our return to in-person celebrations so very fabulous. A huge thanks to our host committee, our after-party committee, and our book council. Many thanks to our longtime incredible design team at CHIPS and to our collaborators at Really Useful Media, who are doing behind-the-scenes magic production work to bring all of you tuning in from home an amazing broadcast experience. Thank you both for helping us always look our best. Thanks to all the friends who have helped record videos and voiceovers as part of tonight's celebration. I won't spoil the surprises, but you'll be hearing from some very special guests soon. And of course, most tremendous thanks to tonight's host, Padma Lakshmi. Thank you. Yeah, let's give Padma a round of applause. Thank you for so graciously helping us celebrate books.
Thanks so much to this year's National Book Awards judges who read and read and read in order to select this year's honored authors, the finalists that we're celebrating tonight. And a special thank you and welcome to judges and past finalists and winners from 2020 and 2021, many of whom are also joining us here in person. We owe endless thanks to our esteemed board of directors. It's an honor to serve with all of you. And of course, none of this would be possible without the small but mighty staff of the National Book Foundation and the leadership of Executive Director Ruth Dickey. Thank you, Ruth.
Thanks so much, David. I'm so grateful to get to work with you and our incredible board and alongside the amazing members of Team Book. Huge thanks to Team Book, to Jordan Smith, Meredith Andrews, Meg Tansey, Natalie Green, Ali Romero, Juliana Lee Marino, Anya Kuipers, Emily Lovett, and a special huge thank you to our awards and honors manager, Madeline Shelton, for coordinating, right? For coordinating so many details, big and small, to make tonight's festivities possible. It is truly astonishing that this team of 10, along with the invaluable support of interns, volunteers, and program partners in all corners of the country, can accomplish so much. Together, we reach over 2 million readers a year through our work. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Maybe you're here with us tonight because you're an author whose work is being honored. Maybe you're here because you're part of a publishing team who worked to get an important book out into the world. Maybe you're tuning in because you work with books as a teacher or librarian and know their power, or maybe you just love books.
Whatever the reason, I find it so moving that books have brought us together. Books have a tremendous power to bring people together, and we hope we can count on all of you to come together in support of books and in support of the National Book Foundation to help ensure that books and the connections they create are celebrated and shared for years to come.
Congratulations once again to all of tonight's finalists, and now on with the show.